Howdy, folks. I'm live once again. Figured I'd come back on live. It went okay on my last one. Not too bad. Using OBS was kind of a bitch. So right now I'm using StreamYard. We will see how this goes. Hopefully it'll work a little bit better. There are some new features, some different features, better features, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and keep using that for right now. So topic for today, I figured it'd be fun to take all the Friday the 13th movies and put them head to head with all the Halloween movies. Now, there was one thing that I kind of thought about is that there is one more official Halloween movie than there is Friday the 13th movies. So I found a solution to that. We'll get to that. We'll go through each film, put them head to head, 1-to-1, see which film wins, which film you think is better. I'll need your help in the chat. Tell me what you think. I'm going to try to throw up some polls and see if that'll work. See if that's a good way to do it. Let's see. I'll take a quick look at the chat right here. Leanna is taking her dog for a walk, but she'll be here. Awesome. Glad you are here, Leanna. Geared up and ready, says Dean Renner. Good to see you, Dean. Glad you are here as well. My comment to Leanna, we both use the tree on the corner, and Leanna says, we are both bitches, so no. Yeah, it's kind of a perk of being a guy, is you can use whatever you want pretty much. You can pee on anything. It's always fun, always a good time. That is definitely one benefit of being a guy. So we'll see if anybody else hops into the chat at all here coming up. But before we get too far, let me show you what I'm drinking.
What is he drinking? What is he drinking?
So I've got a special one today. This is one from Mortalis Brewing. It is their Gemini. I don't even know what you call it. It's like their Gemini series. This one here has blueberry, soursop, and coconut in it. I did pour some into a cup. Have not had it yet though. But as you can see, it's actually really thick. They call them smoothies. Like they are thick as all hell. It's not like your typical sour that you would see where it's essentially like a lager that is really light and then tastes like it has some sour mix in it. So let's have a little sip, see how it is. Oh, that's actually pretty strong. I mean, the ABV is not super high. I think it's about 7%, but it has so much flavor to it. Definitely get that coconut on the tail end there, but I don't know if you can see it, but it's like syrup. Yeah, that is tasty. That's one you got to sip on a bit. That ain't going down real fast. So I definitely recommend Mortalis Brewing. They do a lot of good stuff. The sours are kind of their bread and butter, but they also do a lot of IPAs and things like that. Hazy IPAs, doubles, triples. Actually, I picked up a quadruple that they have. I think it's like 11.5%. I haven't had it yet. That'll be one to do, or one to drink when I have nothing to do in the morning, because it is definitely heavy. Yeah, do you like my singing in that song, Leanna? I'm not really much of a singer, but I thought it was fun. It was I needed something. I needed a tune, and I couldn't really find anything to add without, anything that already existed. So let's see. Another quick look at the chat. We have my man, Brett Patrick. Awesome. Good to see you, Brett. Happy Monday. Absolutely. I mean, it's Monday, but at least I got something to do. Oh yeah, Leanna, I don't think I've ever even had a quadruple. I know I've had a few triples. So it could be interesting. I might have to wait and do that when we're having one of our late night chats in our group chat, because I think you guys are going to want to see just how damn messed up I'm going to get. So, well, let's see. Well, right now, everybody's saying Halloween, so we'll end that one out right now, and I think we should hop into it, get this going. So I've got some slides here. We will take a look at each one, one for one, talk about it just a little bit, and yeah, see what your preferences are, see who takes it. So yeah, let's hop into the first one. Obviously, Friday the 13th versus Halloween, the first of each entry. So let's try this here. See if we can throw up a poll. Part 1. Friday Hollow. Let's do that. Fire that poll. Let's see. Hey, Logan. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, Friday the 13th versus Halloween. I think for most people, especially in our group of friends, I think Halloween pretty much is going to take it across the board. Friday the 13th, I know a lot of people aren't huge fans of it because you don't have, the hockey mask, you don't have Baghead. You have Jason's mom has got it going on. Friday the 13th holds a dear place in my heart. It's something about movies that take place at camps. I just can't get away from them, or get away from them. I think a lot of it's because I went to camp as a kid, and I remember being terrified that Jason was going to come out of the pond that was right outside my window and kill me. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that was I loved going to camp. So that was one for me that I thought for sure Jason was going to come get me. But my opinion, you got to go with Halloween. It was really the classic that got the whole ball rolling in the slasher genre of the late 70s and the 80s. So right now in our poll, looks like Halloween takes it. So I will close that one out. Chalk up one for Halloween. I'm keeping tabs so we can tally at the end. All right. Friday the 13th, part 2 versus Halloween 2. This one, I think, could be a little bit closer. I think a lot of people really like the Baghead Jason. I do. I like the Baghead Jason a lot. Halloween 2, though, is I think it's a favorite for a lot of people in the Halloween franchise. It's definitely one of the top ones for a lot of people. So, my opinion, I think Halloween 2's got to take this one as well. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the chat. If you have anything like specific that you really like or dislike about one film versus the other, let me know. Yeah. For example, Friday the 13th part 2, you might say, I really don't like the Baghead Jason, so that one really depletes it for me. Anything like that, yeah, let me know, and we'll keep on tallying. Oh man, that one's going to take a while to get used to. It is so heavy. It is blueberry, but it doesn't taste very blueberry-ish. It almost tastes like it's got like a like a cran raspberry type of thing to it, but the coconut hits you on the tail end. It's quite good. So let's see. Forgot. Part 2. F2 H2. So I'll let you guys throw your thoughts in the poll there. I will catch up on the chat. Leanna says, I love H2 way too much. Definitely. I mean, it is a great, it's probably the best first sequel of a horror film. Friday Part 2 is where things pick up, but Halloween 2 is too good. Absolutely. Hey, Bill, good to see you. Hails and cheers. Just got home from work. Beautiful. I love the idea of being somewhat incapacitated in a hospital at night. It added a psychological element to it. Yeah, it definitely did. There was a lot of time in that film where not a whole lot was happening, but they really get your they get in the back of your mind. You know, they keep you thinking, because it's like Loomis says, you know, everybody's afraid of the dark inside themselves. You know, and that's kind of what they did with that with the hospital there. They really kind of kept you in the dark. Like I haven't been in a lot of hospitals at night, but I feel like they're not usually that dark. I think there's probably a safety aspect that, you know, they can't quite do that. Brett Patrick says, did you get a 4-pack of that? I didn't get a 4-pack of that, but I did get a 4-pack from there. Pardon me. I got 4 different things. 2 of them were sours. One was a double IPA, and then the quadruple, which I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, I think it's one I got to wait until we're having like an after hours group chat or something like that to open it up, and because that thing will probably kick my ass, and I think you guys are going to want to see that. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll do it on a live stream or something down the line. Bill says both films are great, but Halloween 2 is my favorite slasher film of all time. Damn, really nice. Yeah, Friday 2 is, yeah, they're both good. There's a few of these where when you get into them, it'll be like, okay, both of these films are really good, or both of these films really suck. There's for some reason, it's like, for example, we all know that like a part 4 for both of these films are both really good, but then if you go on to part 5, they're both not so good. I mean, they're not horrible by any means, but you know, just lesser entries in the franchise. So yeah, let's move on. This one could be this one might tip the scales a little bit. Friday the 13th Part 3 and Halloween 3. Now, of course, Halloween 3, the anthology that never happened. Friday the 13th Part 3, we get the hockey mask. So I think that's a big one right there. Is you know, the first time we get the hockey mask, that's going to be I think that's something that it'll lean it towards Friday for sure. Let me make sure I am marking these down. We got another one for Halloween. Take another sippy sip here. Oh man. Damn, you definitely can't see it, but I've got my last name monogrammed on this this here wine glass that I'm using. I rarely use them. They usually just sit on the shelf and collect dust, but they're really nice. See Michael Dammit in the chat. I hope I didn't forget to say hi to you, Michael. Good to see you. Pat the Halloween movie collector. Awesome that you are here as well, buddy. Good to see you. It's kind of weird being on the opposite end of things, you know. I'm usually the guy sitting here watching, but being on the other side of the camera, the other side of the microphone, it takes a little getting used to, you know. I mean, it's one of those things. It'll, you know, I'll get it. I'll get the hang of it. Things will, they'll pick up. Let's see. Michael Dammit says, "You're so fancy, Decker." Yeah, I mean, I'll admit it was a gift. I didn't go out and get that on my own. I will admit that. This is Friday 3, Big Time H3 is its own standalone Halloween story at this point. Yeah. Friday 3 gives us definitive Jason becoming the staple of its franchise. Yep, I agree for sure. Who was right there? Colin Murdy. How's it shaking? So let's see. What do we got right now? I'll give it just another second while I take another sip. Make sure anybody who wants to get in on the polls. That sounded weird. Yeah, if you want to get on the poll, throw your vote in. Let me know. Let's see, scroll through the chat a little bit. What do we got? Leanne says Friday 3 for me, my favorite, Friday the 13th. Yeah, I feel like this one will be, I don't, I feel like it was going to be divisive. So let's see. Take a quick look. Poll says Friday, 57 to 43%. That's one for Friday. Sweet. Let's move on to the next. Here we go. Friday the 13th, the final chapter, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Let's see those fisticuffs in the chat here, because I know a lot of people like both of these movies. And like I said, this is one where you get to a certain part, like part 4, people love both of them. So this one might, I think this one could go either way, really. So yeah, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. We got a really good Jason. Of course, we get introduced to Tommy Jarvis. Really good cast. You got the Doublemint twins. You got, oh god damn, yeah, you got a lot of good people in this one. Crispin Glover. Overall, just a really good cast. The ending, with Jason taking the machete to the head, that was amazing. On the flip side, Halloween 4, Michael's back. It's in a different mask, but he got what he could. Whoops. I'm fucking up. Here's one thing I'm trying to get used to also. I've got 2 keyboards, 2 mice, and then 2 monitors, a laptop. So sometimes I start typing on the wrong keyboard and I'm like, why isn't it doing anything? So let's see. This was part 4. Friday, Halloween. Click it. Yeah, this one, I think we could go either way on this one. Start clicking those buttons in the polls. Let me know. Scroll through the chat here. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. Brett says, imagine if Halloween 3 was in the shitty 3D too. Oh man, can you imagine? I don't think people would like it as much as they do nowadays. I know that was one that at the time a lot of people didn't like, but it just sort of built its own thing. Bill says Friday 4 by a mile. Both are good flicks, but Friday the 13th 4 is one of the best in the franchise, if not the best. Interesting. The Death of Jason versus The Return of Michael. Good point, Dean. I didn't even think of that, because that was supposed to be the end of Jason. It's called the whoops. Yeah, see, when I clicked on or started typing on the wrong started typing on the wrong keyboard, it kind of jacked some shit up. So apologize for that, folks. I'm still new at it, so don't kick my balls. All right, I'll check in on the chat. Oh, wow. It's actually swinging heavily towards Friday the 13th. So we'll end that one real quick. We've got 71 to 29% for Friday. So Let me mark that down. We are tied up at 2 apiece. All right, let's move on. I know you already saw that slide because I fucked shit up, but now I'm back on track, I think. So, Friday the 13th, part 5 versus Halloween 5. I'll tell you, in a way, I'm kind of biting off more than I can chew, but not really. It's one of those things you just got to get used to it. So, bear with me. I'm doing a lot all at once, and I am not great at multitasking, as you can probably tell. So it's kind of like when Halloween comes around and I do this whole big massive setup and shit, and a lot of times I kind of overdo it. Like last year I had to tone it down because the year before I just had so much stuff, so many effects, lighting, video stuff, flame machines, fog machines, you name it. It was just so much. And then by the time the night was over, I was like, oh, I forgot to do this. I screwed this up, and it was just too much stuff. So excuse me again. So I'm trying not to overdo it too much. So anyway, Friday versus Halloween 5. So Friday, a new beginning. I mean, we all know the ending. We know the twist. So I think this one's going to be a pretty big blowout. Halloween 5, though, I mean, The Mask was kind of shit. The movie had some issues. There were a lot of things kind of wrong with both of these. You know, like I said, with part 4, we got 2 really good movies. Then part 5, we got 2, mediocre at best movies. We hop back into the chat, check some things out. Oh, here. Going with H5 because I love you love okay, maybe that's something we could do is compare characters. We'll do that in the future, like the protagonists from each film. That'd be interesting. False advertising would be like Jordan doing a stream with a Coke in his hand instead of a beer. Right. All right. Let's see what we got here. This one's actually, I mean, I really didn't know which way it would go. We've got Friday at 57, Halloween at 43. So I'm going to close that one out. Give it to Friday. Friday pulls ahead. Interesting. Let's move on. Part 6. Now, this is another one that I think could be really interesting because I've got my thoughts, and I know a lot of people have their own thoughts on both of these movies. So we'll do part 6. Friday, Halloween. Send it. So Jason lives. You know, we finally get our zombie Jason. You know, he's dead. He's dead, but he's alive. We've got I'd say a pretty good cast. Our Tommy is really good. Of course, what's her name? Megan. She was hot as hell. On the flip side, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. I think a lot of people don't like this film for one reason or the other. I think a lot of it's just the plot. The whole the Thorn thing, the cult and all that. Like, I can get behind the idea that Michael is driven by something. Of course, we as Halloween fans, we don't want an explanation. In this film, though, I think they tried to do something different, which I think they accomplished. One of the things I love about this film is the feel. I love the feel of Halloween Curse. It's dark, it's aggressive. Michael is big, he's a badass. The scene where he's slashing, cutting and chopping the shit out of all the doctors and everything. Amazing scene. So I think this one could go really either way. See what we got in the chat up here. Going back a little bit. Cookie Woman for the win. Yeah. Cookie Woman. Dean says, again, I like H6 for what it is, but Jason Lives is my absolute favorite. Yeah, the thing about Jason Lives, for me, I thought it became kind of slapsticky. So, I mean, there were moments in the previous films where you kind of get that, it's not like a real serious type of film, but this one kind of took it over the top, I thought. But I mean, it's still a great film. I enjoy it for sure. Colin says, Curse for me. I know Jason Lives is a fan favorite, but I love the atmosphere in Curse, and Curse was a decent step up from H5. It's not a great story wise overall, but prefer Curse. Yeah, it was definitely, I would say, a few steps up from H5. H5 for me is more like at the lower end of the totem pole, whereas Halloween Curse is definitely up higher. Bill says, definitely Friday the 13th. Another favorite in the franchise. Continually Rivals Part 4 is my favorite. Sweet. Friday the 13th. Too many issues with H6, Pat says. Well, let's see what y'all said. Looks like Friday's taking this one too. 71 to 29%. Man, Friday's starting to run away with it, which is funny because we're all I think a lot of us are, if you ask what's our favorite franchise, we would all say Halloween. But I think there's so many differences and similarities, amongst a lot of these films that it's hard to say, just as a whole. But then when you break it down, sometimes it kind of changes your view overall. But I mean, we still got a ways to go. So Halloween could, of course, come back. Of course, I'm using the wrong mouse again. See, I'm all over. I got so much shit going on in front of me right now. It's crazy. All right. The 7th entry. We've got Friday the 13th, A New Blood, and Halloween H2O. There's another one I'm going to be interested to see what you guys say. So A New Blood for me was, I thought it was a good movie. One of the biggest things for me was that we got Kane Hodder. So what was this? Part 7. Again, I'm using the wrong fucking keyboard and I'm clicking shit all over the place. See? I gotta pay closer attention to what I'm doing. Let's try this one more time. Part 7. Friday. Halloweener. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't accidentally hit like a hotkey that ends the fucking stream. That would fucking suck. Like, whoopsie. But I think I could bring it right back in. MTV era Jason rules. Yeah. I like this this version of Jason. In fact, I think this was my favorite when I did my rankings. Yeah, because he's got that kind of busted up mask, big ass Kane Hodder. Yeah, I like this one for sure. And of course, Halloween H2O. For me, it's one of those movies that kind of it's not one of my favorites in the entry, but it does kind of hold a special place in my heart because it was the first Halloween film that I saw in theaters. So it would have been probably 14 years old. And so going to see that at my local theater, I thought was really cool. Damn, this is tough. Yeah, a lot of these I thought, like, I kind of thought about it a little bit between all of them. Not all of them, like, real in depth, but there were a few of them I was like, man, these are really close. Passes H2O hasn't aged well, but Friday 7, not one of my go-to movies, so H2O it is. Michael says, I just haven't seen the Friday movies as much as I have the Halloween movies. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was actually thinking about that earlier, Michael, that with Halloween, you can say, the fourth entry or the seventh entry or whatever, and I can immediately like pull up the information in my head about that movie. Like I can see who's in it, I can see what the plot is, I can see the poster. All that stuff just kind of comes right to me. With Friday the 13th, I actually have to think about it a little bit. Like right there, I was like, Part 7, New Blood. With what happens in New Blood? Oh yeah, okay, that's the girl with the telepathy. She brings Jason. That's Kane Hodder. Okay, it's all coming in. Takes a minute, but I get it. But Friday, yeah, I've definitely seen the Halloween films way more than I have the Friday the 13th movies. Brett says Friday 7 is much better with the look as Jason, whereas Myers in H2O, some of the worst with all the masks. Yeah, what were there, like 4? I think it was like 3 plus the CGI, or 4 plus the CGI, something like that. I feel like it was 4 overall. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that was one of those things that when I was a kid, 14, teenager, watching that movie, I didn't even care. I don't think I even noticed that there were 4 different fucking masks. If they would have just kept with the one that they started off with in that opening scene, that would have been great. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like that was the H6 mask, or like a variation of it, and it looked really good. Colin says, I'll go with H2O, although I like it less as each year passes. It just doesn't seem to age very well. Yeah, it was definitely like a sign of the times type of movie. Resurrection, coming up is kind of the same thing. Right, 7 is a bit of a mess with, but it contains best looking Jason. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think that's my best Jason, at least as far as the look. Dean says Kane's first portrayal, which is incredible, but H2O, excuse me, first time the sequel ignored the middle chapters. Jamie Lee Curtis returns 20th anniversary film had a huge impact at the time. Yeah, it definitely did. It was a huge film, especially with Jamie Lee Curtis coming back and everything else. Bill says Jordan's so busy running this live stream, he actually had to stop playing with himself under the desk for a change. Temporarily. I'll add that to the repertoire as I get a little more familiar with everything. But you're right. Yeah, I have so much stuff, and not just like how many screens I've got, but what's on each of these screens. There's so much stuff. Did I actually make a poll? Yes, I did. See, I am all over the place. All right. Well, I'm going to close this one out. Halloween takes it 75-25. So Halloween back on the board. Let's quickly hop into the next one here, because we're back into the, what number are we on? 8. The 8th movie in each series. And I think they're both kind of shit on a bit. I think I'm going to say one more than the other, but we will find out here momentarily. Let me throw this up. Part 8. Friday. Halloween. Yeah, let me know in the poll. This should be good. Yeah, Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. More Jason Takes a little cruise ship. Not the greatest the greatest entry in the franchise, for sure. Jason looked pretty good in this one too. Looked all wet and shit. That sounded really gay. You know what I mean, though. Being all the wetness and just made him look scary with that black kind of jumpsuit thing that he was wearing. Of course, really the lineage really changed because he went from being all jacked up in part 7, like all his mask, his body, everything's all fucked up. And then in this one, he's nice and clean. Yeah. And of course, Resurrection. We can just do that real quick. I think I think most people would agree with that. Michael clearly does. Resurrection blows. It's one of those that if like around Halloween when I'm watching all the Halloween movies, I usually actually skip that one. It's not there are certain things in the film that I don't mind. I think just none come to mind right now off the top of my head. What's the best of both worlds here? Yeah, exactly. Well, Leanna's got it. The Tale of Two Stinkers. He was very moist, Michael. Bill says, I just like both these movies very much. Two of the worst in either franchise. Friday the 13th gets my vote because Kane Hodder is still awesome in this, and Busta Rhymes eats ass. We also got Ken Kersinger in that one too, briefly. I'm sure everybody already knows that, but he went on to play Jason later on. But he's the guy, the cook guy in the restaurant that Jason throws through the mirror. Man, that foamed up a bit when I refilled it. Whoops. Press says Friday 8 is funny as shit. I like the music too. Yeah, the soundtrack's actually not too bad, really. Passes both are a mess, equally shit. Resurrection is a shit show, but I would rather, but I would go to that quicker than I would Friday 8. Both piss poor films overall. I agree. Let's see which one people think is more piss. Looks like Halloween Resurrection is more piss. Friday takes it at 78%. So Friday taking charge. Next up, another one that I think could I don't know. I think I know which way this one's gonna go. I will reserve my opinion for a moment. Let you guys chat this one out. So this is what, number 9, right? Yeah, part 9. See, fuck, I did it again. I keep clicking on or trying to type on the wrong fucking keyboard. At least I didn't advance anything this time. Let's try this one more time. I will get the hang of this. It is really fucking weird having 2 keyboards in front of you, though. I don't know if anybody else ever does this for anything, where you have 2 keyboards. Like, I know some people do that shit for work and stuff, but yeah, it's really throwing me for a loop. Let's get that going. Part 9. Let's see what you guys have to say. Who the fuck isn't voting? Right? Just click the damn button. Of course, half the time I'm fucking the whole thing up. Label your shit. Hey, I will. One thing I did right is they are they're color coordinated. I've got a black keyboard for my black laptop, and I've got a white keyboard for my white PC. The problem is I'm used to typing on the PC keyboard. Now, if I was typing actually on my laptop, I think I would be okay, but I've got my laptop's kind of away from me a little bit, and I've got a separate external keyboard here. So, and I just started using it too, because I didn't have enough space on my desk until I got a new desk. So take a look at that. Hop in. Yeah, I'm interested to see which way this one goes. For me, Jason Goes to Hell, I don't think is, at least to me, this is of course my opinion, not as bad as the rap gives it. I don't mind the film. I definitely think we should have gotten more actual Jason, not Jason in other people's bodies. When we did get Jason, I thought he was cool. I when I was younger, it really confused the hell out of me that the mask on the poster is like chrome, and then we never got that in the movie at all. I thought that would have been cool as hell. Then Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween. I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie's Halloweens. Um, the second one, especially, first one had some stuff that it was okay. Overall, I just wasn't a big fan. So honestly, for me personally, I would probably vote Jason Goes to Hell. I'll give that just another moment for people to vote if they want to. Pat says, I don't have a problem with Rob Zombie's Halloween, entertaining with the Brutal Myers. Jason Goes to Hell's dog shit. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like we all kind of have our own opinions on these stuff, which is good. I think having some differing opinions is a good thing. We can kind of chat about it. Dean says Jason Goes to Hell is batshit crazy. Halloween 07. Once you get through the opening and backstory, at least goes back to being a Michael and Haddonfield story. Yeah, and like Pat said, we get a brutal ass Michael. I mean, fucking huge. I mean, Tyler Maine's what, like 6'9", 6'10", something like that. He's a fucking massive man. He might not be quite that tall, but he definitely looks it. I think he is way up there, though. Leon says Rob Zombie's Halloween has some great moments. Yeah, I mean, it definitely had good moments. I just overall, I didn't really care for it too much. Now, definitely, I thought it was better than his next entry. Brett says the Rob Zombie Halloween poster is one of the best in the series. Really? Huh. Again, everybody is entitled to their opinion. Colin says, yeah, there are some outstanding moments in Rob Zombie's film. Tyler Maine is superb and very imposing. Yeah, I would not want to go up against that version of Michael. Like he was massive. So, yeah, I figured I was going to be in the minority here, and Halloween takes it 100%. I think I think that's only maybe the second sweep. I didn't write down all the numbers as far as what the percentages were, but I am keeping track of which movies are winning and what the total is. So let's see if I can right back to the wrong mouse. All right, so next up, part 10. Again, for me, this one's actually pretty easy. So let me throw in a poll for this one as well. Part 10. And I did it once more. I'm telling you, I'm just going to punch myself right in the face next time I fuck that up. That would make for some good content. Wrong fucking keyboard. Part 10. I mean, I could do it all on the same computer. If I get a third, actually, I have a third monitor. I just need an adapter to hook it up. Then I could probably do it and make it a little bit easier. So, again, this is all very new to me. So, I will figure it out. I will get it all squared away one step at a time. So, part 10. Jason X versus Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, yeah, for me, I have to go with Jason X. Not the greatest film in the series by any means, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 to me is possibly the worst in the franchise. It's neck and neck with Resurrection for me. It goes back and forth, and I think the reason I actually put Halloween 2 below Resurrection a lot of times is because I've seen Resurrection probably 20 times. Just over the years, you watch it a bit more, things like that. Halloween 2 is one I think I've watched it once all the way through, and then, kind of seen bits and pieces of it since then. Maybe if I went back and rewatched it, I might like it a little bit more. It did have its moments, so I'll give it that. But Let's see here. Leanne says, I love the final act. Personally, love the concept of falling into a pool. Very memorable. That's one of those like weird fears that a lot of people have, is falling into an empty pool and then you can't find your way out. Now I know that one did have a shallow end, but there was enough gunk in the bottom that you would have been slippery as shit. I don't remember if there was a ladder there, but yeah, getting out would be a bitch. Michael says Tyler's 6'8", according to Wikipedia. Yeah, like he could probably just reach up and grab and pull himself out. He's so fucking huge. Dean says Loomis is shooting Michael with a 357 Magnum, and he's still going after Lori in the pool. That's pretty intense. Yeah, I mean, it's a big caliber of gun. I don't even know if I can vote here. Colin says Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I'll go with purely for the first 15 minutes. Yeah, that Jason X is only good for the bonfire. Awful movie. Rob Zombie 2, Halloween 2 grew on me. I hate the final act. The white horse sucks, but I like some of it. Yeah, the whole white horse thing was fucking weird, and that horse didn't scare me. You know, if it would have been the TriStar Pegasus, then that would have been a different story. Pat says, I might be in the minority, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 has grown on me. Take the white horse shit out, and it's not too bad. Great soundtrack. Oh yeah, the soundtrack was good. I mean, Rob, obviously it's Rob Zombie. He knows his music. You know, maybe you know, you might not be a fan of his music or anything, but he knows music for sure. Bill says, as cheesy as is, Jason X is a lot of fun. The face shatter kill is one of the all-time best kills in any movie ever. Absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna bring that one up myself. That was that was one where people went like audibly gasped. Were like, holy shit! You're watching your face just fucking explode. Jason X does have a ton of sex in space. So there's that. I agree. You cannot go wrong with sex in space. Oh, and also they had that kind of throwback where Jason takes the girl in the sleeping bag and starts beating the other girl in the sleeping bag with girl number one. You know, kind of that throwback to what was it? Was it Jason Lives? No, it was New Beginning, I think. I can't remember. See what I mean about Friday? I got to think about it a bit longer. So let me end that poll. Friday takes it. No, sorry. Halloween takes it 60 to 40%. So one more for Halloween. How about that? We're all tied up now. So let's move on. All right. This one I think will be pretty easy overall to predict. Freddy versus Jason. It had a huge billing, a lot of build up. To me, it wasn't very amazing. That one's definitely lower on my totem pole for the just putting it into the Friday the 13th pantheon. Halloween 2018, on the other hand, was kind of a big comeback for the Halloween franchise. As much as people shit on Blumhouse, I think they knocked that one out of the park. There's not too much not good about Halloween 2018. I feel like there were so many damn good moments in that film, and Michael looked amazing. James Jude Courtney, I thought, did a fantastic job as Michael. Throw that one up. Next poll is up. That was Halloween 2018. That one's up near the top of my my films in the franchise. Checking on the chat. Dean says 2018 by a mile. Absolutely. I agree. This one is a psychiatric evaluation. Well, it's one of those things when I start talking about something that I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about, I tend to go on and I ramble a little bit. Colin says 2018 without question. Some of the acting in Freddy versus Jason is as wooden as a tree stump. It's bad. Yeah, yeah. That was one. It had some moments, but overall, it just was not very good. Pat says Freddy versus Jason has moments. 2018 was a superb return to form. Agreed. Bill says Freddy versus Jason has some fun parts, but Halloween 2018 was the first really good Halloween film since Part 4. I mean, personally, I would chalk, I would definitely throw Part 6 in there as pretty good, but Halloween, yeah, definitely. I get what you're saying, Bill. Being lower on a totem pole is actually higher rank. Michael and his semantics. Let's check the poll, shall we? All right, we're 100% for Halloween. Yeah, I thought that's how that would go. So Halloween is back in the lead. Take a damn, that stuff's good. Alrighty, next up. This one could be interesting too. Friday the 13th, 2009, and Halloween Kills. Friday the 13th, 2009. It is a really good movie. There were a lot of things about it they did right, but a lot of things about it they didn't do right. I thought that. I mean, overall, it is a fantastic film. As part of the series. We are in part 12, Friday, Halloween. And then, moving on to Halloween Kills. That one, that one's always up in the air with people. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think very few people are in the middle. I personally really like Halloween Kills. I think a lot of us really hated the whole, evil dies tonight, evil flies a kite, evil rides a bike, whatever. Getting past that part of it, I thought there was a lot of good in this film. The kills, I mean, obviously, it's called Halloween Kills. The kills were fan-freaking-tastic. One of my favorites is, I forget her name off the top of my head. I didn't even think to look her up. Was it Vanessa? Where Michael kicks the door while she's holding the Desert Eagle. And he hits her and she shoots herself in the head. I love that one. That one was great. Let's hop over to the chat real quick. Like I said, I meant people picking Freddy vs. Jason were 18 being. Oh, I got you. Okay. 6 votes. Yeah, I mean, there's 10 people in here right now. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are busy. If you're watching in the background or something, that's cool too. No big deal. Mia says, I love Halloween Kills. It's been 3rd in my ranking for a while. I have so much fun with it. Yeah, I rank that one pretty high too. I think a lot of people move it lower for a lot of those reasons. Like I said, like the evil dies tonight stuff and things like that. There were a few issues in the movie, but I thought it was a fun movie, and the kills in it were fantastic. Ooh. Stuff's not carbonated. I mean, there's almost like a teensy little bit of carbonation, but basically nothing at all. But still makes you burp. Dean says, I got to go Kills here. It grew on me even with its problems. And I still love Friday 09, but Kills being a full-on Michael on a rampage is epic. Yeah, that's kind of the way I see it. It's just a really fun Halloween entry, I thought. Passes Friday the 13th 09 is fun, but Halloween Kills is great. The flashback. Oh, yeah. If we could get a flashback movie made the way they did the flashback scene, I think that would be a stroke of genius. I think that it would do huge numbers with the fans, as long as it's done right and it's done well. And get past, oh yeah, the hospital, yeah, all that evil fries tonight. Yeah, and the whole Tivoli thing, everybody mistakes Tivoli for Michael, and like it doesn't make any sense. You know, that part was definitely a bit of a shit show for sure. Colin says Halloween Kills purely for the flashback, the firefighter sequence, and Myers stalking Lindsay were all superb. Friday remake is decent though. Bill says this is a really tough one for me as I really enjoy both of these films. Both Michael and Jason have brutal kills in these movies, but the most of the cast of Friday annoy the shit out of me. Yeah. I mean, there were some good actors in that film too, but I think a lot of them were still really green and just yeah. You get up and grab a drink during the hospital scene. No pause required. Well, let's see. This one should be fairly simple. Yeah, 83-17 for Halloween. So mark that one down. All right, we are coming up to the end here. So this one here, because this was the last Friday the 13th film that we've gotten, there wasn't anything to do a direct comparison to. But then there actually was. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to use Sweet Revenge because it is technically an official entry. It's just not a full film. You know, it was a short film. Give me your thoughts. While you are chatting, I will be polling. It is weird, too, that there's 13 Halloweens, but not 13 Fridays. And I did that one without fucking anything up. Score. Flashback scenes and kills are worth the price of admission alone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and again, as much as everybody shits on David Gordon Green, especially for this film here, yeah, what he did in Halloween Kills with the flashback scenes was fantastic. So, yeah, Sweet Revenge, you know, the short film that came out a while ago, and then Halloween Ends, you know, the final entry in the Halloween franchise for now. Sweet Revenge, I don't think a lot of people liked it. I think The Mask really was a big deterrent for a lot of people. I thought it was okay, especially in certain lighting. I actually thought it looked pretty good. Now, his outfit almost looks like they copied that from something else. Michael in Halloween Ends, I thought looked probably the best we've ever gotten. I loved James Jude Courtney's portrayal of him. I thought The Mask was amazing. I mean, I've got a rehaul right here that I actually did a lot of the rehaul on it myself. Everything about him I thought was awesome, other than the fact that he wasn't in the movie a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, he was in it more than he was in the original Halloween. Okay, but we've gotten kind of used to seeing more Michael. You know, the first film really was more of a over the shoulder, you know, kind of view where you didn't get a whole lot of looking at his face or his mask as it is, because he was new. It was a new slasher, new entry, things like that. By the time you get to the 13th entry, we've seen his mask a lot, even though it's been different all the time. But yeah, I thought Ends was, I don't know, I have a good appreciation for that film. I like it a lot more than I think a lot of other people do, especially like people I know, people in the chat, especially. I know a lot of you are like, yeah, the movie fucking sucks. I like it though. Let's see what you are saying in the chat. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's see. Still going with Ends, even though I only saw it once. Yeah. Some good scenes, but the story is kind of lame. Yeah. It's one of those things, if they would have thought about what they were going to do in that film ahead of time, I feel like they could have introduced the Corey character in Kills and then carried it over into Ends. And I think people would have accepted that a lot more. Bill says, ooh, tough one. Neither one was really that good. Both had a few cool moments, but I preferred not to watch either again. Colin says, I'll go with Ends, even though it was, or it has major problems. Decent enough story, but not how we needed to wrap up this timeline. Such a letdown. Yeah, going into that, I knew at least one of them had to die permanently, but I thought it was going to be both of them. I thought they were going to both die. I didn't think Laurie would just beat Michael and that'd be it, because it almost seemed too predictable. It was just more the way they did it. I think people were like, what the fuck? That's how he goes out with a refrigerator on his legs, and all he had to do was slit his throat. Why didn't somebody do that earlier on, you know? Pat says, Ends is rough for me. I like the Corey storyline, but not as a bookend to the OG timeline. Yeah, I think because Blumhouse had the rights to do pretty much whatever they wanted, they kind of took liberties in a way. They sort of just rolled with it, and kind of, I think they just wanted to do something different for the ending. And really, if you're making a movie called Halloween Ends, really the only way you can end it is to kill the main character of the whole fucking franchise, I thought. So I figured Michael had to die. I just couldn't think of a way myself, like how you would do it where it's permanent, other than, I mean, the meat grinder thing. Yeah, that's a hell of a way to do it. It was just getting to that point. That's not even what killed him. You know, that was more of a, like an added bonus for Laurie. Bill says, I would have definitely voted for Never Hike Alone over Ends if that film were in contention. I really enjoyed Never Hike Alone. It was way cool to bring up Jason in present day. Yeah, the whole those fan films and everything fucking got good. So real quick, let me kill the poll here. Halloween takes it another 100%. So Halloween's doing good. Well, I would say that is it. However, I have a bonus entry. So get your shit ready. Let me know. This one could also go either way. And Bill, you predicted it. Never Hike Alone versus Halloween Aftermath. Two fan films that were done very, very professionally. And both were fucking fantastic. If you haven't seen them, go see them. They're free on YouTube. So this is part. I did it fucking that time. I fucked it up. At least I don't think I changed anything. All right, so I'm okay there. Part 14. Friday, Halloween. All right. Back into the chat. I expected Michael to pull Laurie in the crusher. Yeah, watching that, Michael, the way she was standing right on the edge, that's what I thought too. I think a lot of people did. I thought, you know, she was gonna be standing there. She pushed him, and he was just gonna go, you know, snatch a hold of her pant leg or something. Bill says, Michael, it would have been better end if that happened. Yeah. Dean says, as much as I don't like saying it, it's admittable that Ends gets easier to watch on more viewings. Yeah, with Ends, when I first went and saw it in the theaters, I walked out thinking, you know, that's not quite what I expected and not what I would have done. And I, of course, still think all that. But the more I watched it, the more I got it. That's why, like Leanna said, she's only seen it once. I feel like if she went back and watched it some more, you know, maybe, you know, do it as part of the trilogy or just on its own. But that was kind of what got me more into it, was watching it, you know, over and over. I mean, not over and over and over, like I sat down and just kept rewinding it when it got to the end and starting again, but watching it a few more times here and there. yeah, definitely got me enjoying it more. Colin says, I think the pause during COVID gave them more time to tinker. Originally, they were supposed to do all 3 films in one night. I think that would have worked better. Yeah, I mean, that was one thing. COVID kind of screwed some shit up. It's almost like if you overthink something, a lot of times you make it worse. Uh, and I think that's kind of what happened with Ends. I think they had it in a direction they were going to go, and then with that delay, like you said, with COVID and everything, they're like, well, we have more time, so let's keep mulling it over. They probably got a lot more people, more hands in the cookie jar, and like, yeah, let's just go a completely different way. And I don't know, I'm okay with it. I've learned to be okay with how it ends and everything and all that. But Bill says, never hike alone. Michael hasn't seen Never Hike Alone. Yeah, I would definitely look it up, Michael. I think that there's 3 of them in that series, but they all run, I think, in the hour-ish range. They're not super long, whereas like I think Halloween Aftermath was goddamn near pushing 3 hours, 2.5, something like that. It was long. I remember sitting down, I was like, man, like watching it for a while, I was like, this has to end here soon. So I'd hit hit the display button, and I still had like another hour to go. I was like, holy shit. I really want to see Aftermath. Never saw that one, but Never Hike Alone is awesome. Yeah, Aftermath, like I said, really long, pretty damn well done. Had a few things that I would have done a little bit different, but I mean, we could all say that about pretty much anything. Colin's got Never Hike Alone. Okay. There should be a 3rd voting option. Who gives a shit? Oh, Brett, you having a bad night or something, buddy? It's okay. Pat says, Never Hike Alone was okay. Haven't seen Aftermath. Yeah, it's you have to be dedicated. You have to put some time away, or you have to be ready to sit down for, like I said, nearly 3 hours. And then you count pee breaks and getting up to grab another beer and all that and whatever else. Aftermath 2:15. Yeah, is that all it was? I thought it was way longer than that. It felt like it went on forever, which isn't a knock on it. It just went on forever. But I mean, that's a pretty long ass movie, especially for a fan film. I think I'm going to go pour me a Buffalo Trace to celebrate Jordan's live stream. Absolutely. Go for it, Bill. That would be great. I don't have anything to do shots with, but I'm still working on this thing. Like these sours, these slushy things, they're super heavy. So you're not drinking them quick. They're not heavy like ABV wise, but just thick and a hell of a lot of flavor. So they are sippers. So they go down kind of slow. Like every sip I take, it's almost like it's the first time I've done it, or taking a sip tonight. So there's also a bunch of time in between them. All right, let's end that poll. See how we're doing here. Halloween takes it 60-40. All right. Well, I'm not going to include that one in the official tally. That was just more of a bonus. But our final tally for the actual films, we've got Halloween at 8 and Friday at 5. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's 13. That adds up. Math ain't my strong point either. I'm not really good at much, so. But yeah, Halloween for the win. Beautiful. I kind of figured Halloween would win. It looked like it was going to get real close there for a while, and actually Friday was in the lead there for a bit. So all out on Aftermath. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you haven't watched it, I would definitely recommend it. If you got some time, it is a little bit of a commitment, but it's one of those things you can put on the background, like if you're just hanging out, cooking dinner, grilling, whatever, you got up on your phone or something. It is something you can kind of watch like that. You're going to miss a few things, whatever, but when Michael finally comes onto the screen and everything, you're gonna like what you see. It's pretty cool. Not really into fan films, but that sounds way too long. Yeah, I don't do a lot of fan films. There are some out there that are quite good, but there's a bunch where you're like, oh, okay, I've never seen this one or heard of it or anything. I'll give it a shot. And you hit play, and it looks like it was, recorded on a flip phone, and yeah, it looks like shit. And as soon as I see that, I'm like, no, I'm out. But these films here were done, very very professionally. Obviously, Never Hike Alone, the three films or whatever it was. I know there's also like the Ghost Cut, which I think I started to watch, but that's just like a kind of a mashup, if you will, or a compilation of all the films. That was, that one you can watch them all right in one setting, but it would be pretty long to do because, like I said, each one's like an hour and whatever long, or about an hour. So you put three of them together, you got a 3 hour film here. All right. Well, yeah, Halloween for the win. Can't I would have guessed. No shits for Jordan. Shits all around. I'm into some OnlyFans accounts. Yeah, it's one of those things. I might have to start one just to try to fund this channel. It's expensive. I just bought. Well, I've got right now. I've got a kind of a trial version of StreamYard, but I think I'm probably going to go with the actual subscription. But I'm still playing around with a couple things to see what I like the best. Colin says, currently watching Joyride from '01, starring Paul Walker. Decent horror thriller for fans of Spielberg's Duel. I have not seen that one, but I vaguely remember it. But that wasn't one that I ever saw. Well, let's see. I had one other thing I just wanted to pop up real quick since we were talking about Friday the 13th a bit. Let me see if hopefully this will work right here. So we've got this thing from Bloody Disgusting came out. Crystal Lake, first look at young Jason Voorhees, and big news coming this Monday, which was 3 days ago. There should be an update now. I didn't see one when I signed on, but I assume we're going to get a little bit more, maybe more of a look at what Jason's going to look like. I mean, right here you got a shot of the back of his giant head. But yeah, it says there should be news coming out today if it hasn't already. So I'll double check that here in a bit, but just want to bring that up. I think they said, when is it coming out? Forget. I think it was October. I think they were saying this was coming out, something like that. But should be interesting. It's going to be on Peacock, which I don't have. I had it briefly, but it's not something I've got where I can sit down and watch it. So we'll see. It might be something where I end up getting Peacock just to watch it and then cancel it out. Maybe, I don't know how they're going to put it all out. If it's going to be like once a week, once a month. I don't know how they're planning on laying it out. So I guess time will tell on that. But yeah, there's Jason's gigantic melon right there. So yeah, that's what I had for you guys today. Throw that up there. Make sure people are liking and subscribing. Got a bunch of new subscribers recently, and I appreciate the help from everybody who's been, putting out the word and everything. I know, getting started and getting things rolling, it takes time, takes some help, things like that. I've been watching a lot of videos online trying to figure out ways to help promote it and stuff like that. And we will see how it goes and where it goes from here. But Yeah, I think doing some more live streams and stuff would be fun. Actually, putting them together is not that difficult. And the thing about doing all like the pre-recorded stuff is it takes forever. It takes a lot of time to do. Say we got the official release date October 15th. Okay, I thought I saw October. I couldn't remember if it was that I was reading or if it was for something else. But yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna tune into it. I'll be really interested to see what they do. And I don't know if I mean uh, they did Sweet Revenge, and it was technically an official entry, but I don't know if it had any or if it's going to have anything to do with Crystal Lake or if that's going to be for something else or what. If it's just like a standalone to keep people, remembering that Jason's out there, that something's coming, all that. Pat says he's getting the cock to watch it. Yeah, I might. I might pick it up. Just see how they're putting them out. If they're coming out like once a week or something like that, where it's going to take a month or a couple of months or a few months for the whole first season to come out, I might wait till later in the season and then just binge watch a bunch of them, try to get them all together. Looks like the Night of the Creeps alien from behind. Yeah, it's a giant melon. Thanks, Leanna. I appreciate that. Glad you're here. I might have to make you a mod so when Michael gets out of sorts, you can kick him out and all that. Need to get your booty monetized. Yeah, I mean, it takes so much to get monetized. Like, I mean, there's people who do it in no time flat. But I don't have the time to do a ton of content and things like that. So we'll see. I'll just keep plugging away, and rest is awesome stuff. Thanks for the entertainment driving home. Perfect. Yeah, drive safe. Glad you're here, Brett. Good to see you as always. This is a lot of fun. Bravo, Decker the Pecker. I'm having flashbacks from my high school days and people calling me Pecker. Damn it. Dean says weekly 8 episodes for 2. Okay. Kind of like Welcome to Derry was like that, I think, wasn't it? Because I did that. I watched that all together at once. Just sat down, just watched the whole thing, kind of, I think, over the course of a few days. And that one was really good. I thought that was awesome. Snyder's in the house. He says, I'm walking, like on the treadmill or just out and about in general. Snyder Man does whatever a Snyder Man does. Thanks, Pat. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's see. We've been going for about an hour 20, so I think that's pretty good. I got everything in. I think that I wanted to. Other than that, I'll keep fucking around with shit and think of what I'm going to do next. I had a couple of ideas for either another live stream going forward or whatever else I'm going to do, pre-recorded stuff, things like that. So had a few things in mind. So yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for being here. Make sure you hit the like button down below and subscribe if you haven't. I think pretty much everybody here has subscribed. If you have any friends or anything that you could point them my way, that would be great. I would definitely appreciate that. Just trying to build things up slowly and surely, get things going. But other than that, I think I'm going to go sit on my couch for a little bit before going to bed. So otherwise, yeah, thanks everybody again for being here, and be sure to tune in next time to find out what's on tap. Cheers.